Vivian and I know each other from another life, let's just put it that way. And thank you very much for all the hard work that you do. But I'm kind of feeling naked up here. That's why I took my jacket off, I guess. I had to expose myself. I don't have daughters, I have 2 sons. The guy who really deserves some of the credit here from City Hall is sitting right over here. His name is Amajit Sodi. Can you stand up? Because he's a founder member. It's not the correct political thing to do, but I do think the guy needs the recognition, and he has been a pioneer for us in many regards on a lot of fronts. And so it is a pleasure to be here on behalf of City Council to celebrate our 4th annual Daughters' Day. Now I'm going to share you a little story about my family. And I have 2 sons, and so and I never talk down to my sons. I treat them like adults. I talk to them, so we get very interesting questions at the dinner table. For example, not too long ago, my 9-year-old son said, "Why does God not need to clone himself?" or stuff like that. But I remember when I was a teenager, and I was, I was a mouthy guy back then. I'm much more quiet now. I asked my dad, who ran a very large masonry firm, and I said, "Dad, why are there no women on your job sites?" And he said to me without missing a beat, he said, "I don't care if they're black, yellow, white, female, or male. If they emit as many blocks as I do in a day, they are hired." And from that, I learned very, very quickly that my family judged people on the contents of their character, on the merits of their character, and what they can do, and not judge them by where they come from or how they look. It's whether you can get the job done. That came from my father, and my mother is still out there. She still quads, and she's 75 years old, and so she's a very strong personality. And I have a sister who's also, geez, you think I'm loud? You should listen to my sister tell me what I should be doing. And oh my goodness! But whether or not we have daughters of our own, we all have important daughters in our lives. Every woman and girl is a daughter, and each of them is an important member of their families and communities. As we know all too well, women and girls are often vulnerable to violence and inequity in many parts of the world. Nicholas Kristof said in Turning Oppression into Opportunity for Women Worldwide once said, in the 19th century, the central moral challenge was slavery. In the 20th century, it was the battle against dictatorships. We believe that in this century, the paramount moral challenge will be the struggle for gender equality around the world. So, even here, in a stable and prosperous democracy like Canada, women still are underrepresented in so many places, in positions of influence, leadership, and power. Women make up just 16% of our mayors, 26% of our councillors, 22% of our seats in Parliament. You notice I left our wonderful MLAs out, which is good to see. And after we're done this, maybe we can have an Edmonton caucus meeting, and Amajit and I would love to talk to you about stuff. No, we're not going to make it. There is an important reason why we established the Women Advocacy Voice of Edmonton Committee. Because like Melinda Gates once said, a woman's voice, by definition, is a strong woman, but the search to find that voice can be remarkably difficult. WAVE, as it's known, represents a group of women of different social and cultural backgrounds, providing advice and guidance to City Council on women's issues and city policies and decisions. WAVE also aims to promote leadership development to empower Edmonton women to fully participate in civic life. Ultimately, we can't call ourselves a city of opportunity unless those opportunities are equal for all. We can't do it alone. Grassroots initiatives like Daughters' Day help advocate, educate, and celebrate gender equality and the incredible contributions of women in our community. And the daughters we celebrate today are breaking down those barriers and clearing the way for future generations of girls to reach for their dreams and make our world a better place. Thank you and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to thank the International Association of Citizens for Civil Society and the Daughters' Day Ambassadors and the organizing committee for bringing us together for this 4th annual celebration. Now, I have the proclamation here. Because you can't have a day without a proclamation. So on behalf of Mayor Iverson, it's my honor to welcome Char and Carre to come up to receive this proclamation. So, I got to do it this way, because I got to get the mic, and then we'll do the off later. How's that? Whereas women and girls around the world experience disproportionate rates of abuse, neglect, poverty, and violence, and whereas devaluing and excluding women has a profound cost to families, communities, and economies, and whereas Daughters Day brings people together to celebrate the achievement of daughters and remove the barriers that limit them, and whereas the City of Edmonton recognizes the tremendous contributions of all daughters who make our city an uplifting and inclusive place to live, therefore I, Mayor Donna Iveson, do by here proclaim August 29th, 2015, Daughters Day in Edmonton, Alberta's capital city.